Possession? And I want to welcome you to Classified Captures. Now you know who I am. Let's hear ya. Let's hear ya. That's right. Let's get on with it. Okay, what exactly are we looking at here? This video shows some kind of creature chasing a horse, and the horse is running full speed trying to get away. But whatever this thing is, it keeps up, and that alone is unsettling. Then you actually look at it. It's humanoid, the legs are unnaturally long, and it's not fully upright. It moves in a hunched position, using both its hands and legs to run. And that's where it gets difficult to explain. The debate is split. Some people say this is AI, and to be fair, the quality and movement could support that. AI video has reached a point where something like this is possible. But others point out that descriptions of skinwalkers have always sounded very similar to this, and that's what keeps the argument open. So what are we actually looking at here? An AI creation or something that should not be keeping pace with a running horse?
¿Qué es eso corriendo? Lo está persiguiendo. Corre rarísimo. Casi lo agarra. Va a escapar.
A mysterious object washed up near Sidi Barani in Egypt on the 5th of May, and people cannot seem to agree on what they're actually looking at. Now, to be fair, Egypt is one of those places where almost anything turning up would not feel completely out of place, because this is a country packed with history. Ancient relics, lost structures, things buried beneath sand and hidden underwater. And with so much still undiscovered, something like this immediately raises questions. The object appeared on the shore out of nowhere, and at first glance, it does not clearly belong to anything familiar. Some people believe it could be part of an ancient structure or even some kind of device that's been sitting underwater for years before finally surfacing, while others are not buying that at all and think it looks more modern, like a tank or even a shipping container that somehow ended up in the water and was pushed back to shore. Two very different explanations, and both sound possible in their own way. But take a look at it and decide for yourself. What do you think this actually is?
Holy shit. No.
What the hell? That is the worst piece of interpretive dance I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand what's going on here.
Cops are gonna come.
Do you think that she's got some kind of a drug inside her or something? Possession? Yeah, no, I think that's some kind of drug use of some sort, but whatever's going on, that poor lady needs help, man.
Ballerina.
What do you think is going on?
Holy shit, she got up. She's going in the street. Holy shit.
I can't see.
She get hit by a car.
What?
Hold up, is that a seal?
Well, first and foremost, that lady is an
wouldn't think this was
amazing
dangerous.
surfer.
Just keep
And
an
that's a
eye
little
right
seal
here.
that was behind her, right?
You see it right there?
And that was a shark. Oh
and right
my
there is where you
God.
don't see the seals.
Now, there's big reasons a lot of the time why I have never surfed, and one of them is because I keep seeing clips like this. You gotta be brave. You gotta be brave, man. But if there are seals in those waves, then it's obvious there are gonna be sharks around there because that's what they hunt. Simple as, but that's some cool surfing right there.
Hold up, is that a seal? Just watch this. You wouldn't think this was dangerous. Just keep an eye right here. You see it right there? And right there is why you don't surf with seals.
Three witnesses in California all captured something strange in the night sky, and none of them coordinated it. They just happened to see the same thing. In one piece of footage, it looks like flashes, random bursts of light appearing in the sky, while in another, the lights seem to move, almost like they're tunneling through the sky, which is a very specific and unusual way to describe something like this. Then in the third clip, it honestly looks like lightning, except it's not, because the conditions were not right for that. And here's where it gets more interesting, because this has already been confirmed not to be fireworks. When you look at the size of the glow, it becomes obvious why, since the lights are far too large and too spread out for that explanation to make sense. Whatever is producing that glow is behind the clouds, so there's no clear view of the source. You're only seeing the light bleeding through, which somehow makes it more unsettling, because it's clear something is there, you just cannot see what it is. 3 different people, 3 different angles, all capturing the same unexplained lights over California at night. A military exercise, something atmospheric, or something that doesn't have a clean conventional explanation. What do you think that really is? All right, let's take a quick break from the serious stuff because this one actually made me laugh. A kangaroo wandered onto someone's property, wrong place, very wrong time because it was Halloween, and the homeowner had one of those motion-activated witch decorations out front, the kind that just sits there and then suddenly starts cackling when something walks by. Well, the kangaroo walked by. The moment that thing started laughing, there was no hesitation, no pause, no trying to figure it out. The kangaroo just turned and launched a kick straight into it. One hit, gone, witch deleted. Honestly, you gotta respect it. Zero tolerance. It decided it was not happening and dealt with it immediately. Also, quick reminder, don't mess with kangaroos. People underestimate them way too much. They're strong, fast, and clearly have no patience for nonsense, even if that nonsense is just a Halloween decoration. Hotel pools are public spaces, and people forget that. Anyone could be in that water. After this video, you might start thinking about that a little differently. A group of friends at a hotel decided to take a photo by the pool. Normal, well, they line up, someone steps back to take the shot, everyone's smiling, standard stuff. When they check the photo, they notice something. In the pool behind them, not the one they were in, there is a figure, someone in the water. Here's the problem. When they counted everyone, including the person who took the photograph, every single person was accounted for. So who was that in the background? And it gets worse. This is not the first strange thing linked to that pool. There have been reports of splashing late at night when the area was completely empty. No guests, no staff, just something moving in the water. Take another look at the photograph, because next time you're at a hotel pool, you might want to check what's behind you. Look, if you're going into a haunted forest at night trying to make contact, you have to be ready for what actually that means because, well, some people go looking, and the moment they find something, they realize they were not ready at all. This man is a paranormal investigator. He heads into a forest known for activity, live streaming the whole time. Standard setup, moving through the dark, documenting whatever he can. At one point, the camera goes dark, visibility drops, so he turns on his light and flips the camera toward himself. And in that exact moment, over his shoulder, there is a face, clear, right there. It shows up for a split second and disappears. He sees it too, you can tell. The second it registers, his whole energy changes, and then he ends the stream. No explanation, no follow-up, just cuts it. Everyone who's watched this clip sees the same thing. This is not one of those cases where you have to squint or guess. It's there. The only question is what exactly he captured, because judging by how fast he shut everything down, he may have found exactly what he was looking for, just not something he was ready to face.
Oh my God, what was...
Dead wrong.
Did you see something behind me? What the What was that? Am I seeing Did I just see a face behind me, or am I losing my mind?
Cut.
What the was that? Cut. They said cut. Did I just see a face behind me?
Now, I keep saying it, but if anything strange is out there, it's probably in the ocean, and every time something like this comes up, it gets a little harder to ignore, because this creature right here, well, it looks unreal. This is a giant bobbit worm, and it's very real. Not AI, not a prop. This thing is alive in the ocean right now. They can grow up to 10 feet long and spend most of their time buried under the seafloor, with just a small part exposed waiting. And when something swims too close, they strike. Fast, violent, precise. They grab fish, drag them under the sand, and that is it gone. And here's the part that makes it worse. We do not actually know how many are out there. They're hard to spot, and some have even been found living inside aquarium tanks for years, without even noticing, just hidden in the rocks, growing. So when people ask why the ocean feels like the most unexplored place on Earth, well, this is why. Because things like this are already down there, and we're still finding them. So this clip is yet another reason I keep saying it. Whatever we're looking for out there, a lot of it might be underwater. Scientists have been picking up whale sounds from deep in the ocean. The recordings are real, the data is real, but the source has never been found. It even got a name, the 52 Hertz whale, based on the frequency of the sound, and no one's ever actually seen it. But here's where it gets strange. One scientist argues it might not even be a whale at all, because all known whales need to surface for oxygen. That is basic biology. But this signal has been recorded for years and the source has never surfaced once. Which raises two possibilities. Either it's something we don't understand yet, or it's not a whale in the first place. Then comes the more unsettling idea: mimicry. The concept that something could be producing whale-like sounds without being one. Something that doesn't need air, does not surface, and has simply stayed in the deep ocean the entire time. Something that does not want to be found. And when you put all of that together, you start to understand why people keep looking at the ocean differently. Because whatever is down there, we still do not fully understand it. Skinwalker Ranch. If you know, you know. This place has been tied to strange sightings and unexplained activity for decades, and researchers have been trying to document it for years. But this might be one of the most unusual recordings to come out of it yet. A scientist named Stephen Lee used quantum video technology to film the area around the ranch. Unlike a normal camera, quantum imaging can pick up visual information outside the range of human sight. Different light frequencies and signals that regular cameras simply don't register. And what he captured when pointing it at the field is what people are still arguing about. Faces, hundreds of them covering the landscape. And I need you to look at this carefully, because once you see it, it's hard to unsee. Do those look like faces to you? Because to many people watching, the answer is yes. The discussion around it has taken a strange turn online. Some believe this could suggest something like a dimensional overlap, a thin boundary between realities where things occasionally bleed through into our view through the right kind of technology. And if that theory is even partially right, then places like Skinwalker Ranch might not just be haunted or active in the usual sense, but locations where that boundary is weaker than normal. And that's what makes this footage so unsettling. Is that real?
Hi, buddy.
Is that real?
First of all, that ain't very nice what they're doing.
That's
to that poor dog,
genius, man. What's
but
this
if I
guy
broke
gotta
in that
say?
house and seen that thing sitting on the couch, I'm gone.
Gotta see that thing sitting on the couch, I'm gone. I'm gone, baby. Yeah, that's fantastic. He looks like a stroppy teenager or something. That's just amazing.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing? You look like a little person. Hi, buddy.
First of all, that ain't very nice what they're doing to that poor dog, but if I broke in that house and seen that thing sitting on the couch, I'm gone.
This is a recording from 1984 of a professor giving a lecture, and what he predicted in it is getting a lot of attention right now for obvious reasons. According to him, the world as we know it will shut down and collapse in 2033, not because of a natural disaster or disease, but because of human ego and our inability to stop fighting long enough to build something worth preserving. Now, we're in 2026, which puts us less than a decade away from that point. And when you look at the current state of the world, the conflicts, the political division, and the erosion of trust between nations and even individuals, it becomes difficult to watch this clip and feel nothing. There have been countless end-of-the-world predictions before. 2012 was supposed to be it. 2025 had its own wave of prophecies that never came true. Most of them were based on vague interpretations that could be stretched in different directions. But this professor's argument is different. It's not based on cosmic alignment or ancient calendars. It's based on observable human behavior and the logical outcome of where that behavior leads if nothing changes. What makes it more unsettling is when he said it, 1984, long before many of the modern conflicts we see today even existed in the current form. So the question is not just how he knew, but what patterns he was already seeing in human behavior back then. And more personally, where will you be in 2033?
1950 came electronic age. Then 1980 came bionation age. 2000 cyclonation age. Ultra cyclonation 2020. Then computer goes. Every year, creating data. Then the year of 2033, computer stopped. 2033, which they thought this is end of civilization. As a result of this, may be by war, maybe by some other means, direct cause of end, but underlying cause is all this new artificial species. And then, why this way we are now going? Because as we talked this afternoon, yesterday, we forgot appreciation, gratitude to nature, to parents, to traditions. Because we have been thinking we are the good guy. Because we have been thinking enemies are there. So we cannot cure ourselves.
A man was exploring his property when he heard strange noises coming from inside. It didn't take him too long to find the source, then he went to investigate. Up on the ceiling, hidden under a tarp, was a large snake that had made itself comfortable in that space. He used a metal stick to lift the covering and the snake dropped straight down to the floor. From there, he had to use tools to guide it safely out of the building. Now, some people watching the footage immediately jumped to sorcery as an explanation for how it got there, which says a lot about the cultural context this was filmed in. But the more grounded explanation is actually much simpler. Snakes are extremely good at finding their way into enclosed spaces. They look for warmth, shelter, and quiet, and the uninhabited building gives them all of that with none of the disturbances of human activity. A small gap in the foundation, a crack in the wall, or even an opening around pipes or ventilation is enough, and once they're inside, especially if the space stays undisturbed, they can remain there for long periods. This is even more likely in areas surrounded by dense vegetation or natural wildlife routes, which this location appears to be. So if you have a property that sits empty, especially in a rural or bushy area, it's worth assuming something may have moved in. Check your ceilings, seal your gaps, because finding a snake is one thing, finding it after it drops is a completely different experience.
और भाई बहुत तकड़ा सांप है भाई, बहुत कई भाई जबर सांप है। एक ही है, दो थे। हाँ, फन बहुत बड़ा फन है। तो बच गया, कड़ा बच जाए। उसका एक और का जाना पड़ेगा। मेटिंग सीजन चल पड़ा ना इनका।
We've covered directed energy weapons several times in this series. We talked about Amy Eskridge and her claim that she was being targeted. We also looked at the red ball phenomenon over American cities and theories that linked it to directed energy activity. So what do these weapons actually look like in action? In most cases, you don't see the beam itself. These systems can operate outside visible light, so standard cameras often do not capture the source. What you do see is the effect, sudden damage or ignition that appears to come out of nowhere. And that's the main point people focus on. Not projectile, no clear origin, just impact. Directed energy weapons are not purely fictional. Some governments have confirmed research and development, including the US, China, Russia, and Israel. These range from microwave systems used for crowd control to laser systems designed to damage equipment or structures. What makes them controversial is how difficult they are to trace when used outside controlled settings. And that's where most of the debate begins. Now, we need to take a break from all the darkness for a moment, because this is genuinely one of the best things a security camera has ever captured. A pet cockatoo ends up in the kitchen in the middle of the night while the owners are asleep, and alone in there, it starts calling out for help. What comes out sounds remarkably like Mom. And then somehow the bird manages to trigger Alexa with a command clear enough for the smart device to respond. So now you have this situation where a cockatoo in the middle of the night is essentially trying to call its owner using the household AI assistant. And this actually makes more sense when you understand cockatoos. They're highly intelligent birds capable of learning large vocabularies, mimicking human speech with surprising accuracy, and even solving simple problems to get what they want. In this case, the solution was simple: get Mom involved as fast as possible. We talk a lot on this channel about AI and where it's going, but here's a bird that's already figured out how to use it. Respect, honestly.
Did you mean Mom? Call her Mom.
A few moments later.
Hello?
This footage is poolside at night, and at first glance, it looks like a dog walking past the pool. Nothing unusual. Dogs wander at night, that's normal. But then you keep watching, because the moment that follows is where everything changes. The dog appears to transform into a woman and runs off. Now, that sounds like something out of a film, but in the footage, the transition appears smooth and continuous. One moment, it's clearly a dog, and the next, it's clearly a person moving away from the pool. And that is why this clip is getting attention. In paranormal circles, the skinwalker explanation comes up quickly. Accounts tied to Native American tradition describe beings that can shift between animal and human form, and supporters of that idea point to the fluid nature of the change in this footage as something that matches those descriptions. At the same time, there's a more grounded concern that cannot be ignored. AI-generated video has become capable of producing exactly this kind of seamless transformation, especially in short, low-light scenes like this one. And that's where the debate sits, between something that looks too smooth to be a simple cut and something that fits emerging digital manipulation techniques. Either way, it's the kind of clip that makes you watch it twice, because the first time, it just looks strange. The second time, it feels even stranger. The food situation keeps getting worse, and this latest incident is one of the more unsettling things we've covered in the past of the series. A man bought brisket from a store, cooked it once, then put it back in the oven for a second cook. When he returned to check on it, there was a plastic-like substance oozing out of the pan. And according to him, it was not from packaging. The wrapping has already been removed after the first cook. It was not from foil either, and it was not something that could have come from the oven itself, which leaves one uncomfortable possibility. It came from the meat. If something inside the brisket melted under heat and produced a residue like that, it naturally raises questions about what exactly is in the product being sold as normal store-bought meat. We've already seen ongoing discussions about lab-grown meat entering supply chains, along with heavy processing in food production and the use of additives in packaged products. Incidents like this are why these conversations keep resurfacing, because at a certain point, people stop asking if something is possible and start asking what is actually in front of them. And that's the question that this clip leaves you with. The man in this clip is Richard Doty, a former special agent with the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, and he's talking about something called Project Minot. And if what he describes is true, it would completely change how people think about the US involvement in extraterrestrial technology. According to Doty, Project Minot involves the development of a craft capable of traveling beyond our solar system and possibly even time travel. But the most striking part of this claim is not just the technology itself, but where it supposedly came from. He claims it was not built using human knowledge alone. Instead, part of the information came from a Pleiadian being that allegedly crashed on Earth in the 1950s and was later held in captivity. According to his account, this being cooperated in developing the craft by providing knowledge beyond human engineering capability at the time. Now, Doty is not a simple source to interpret. He's a controversial figure with a documented history of spreading disinformation during his intelligence work, something he's acknowledged himself. And that history makes everything he says much harder to take at face value. So the question becomes complicated. Is this a rare moment of genuine disclosure from someone who is inside these programs? Or is it another layer of intentional misdirection designed to blur the line between fact and fabrication? Both possibilities lead to uncomfortable conclusions in different ways, and that's where this conversation always ends up.
Craft was made of a type of outer skin that was almost a living organism, and that's part of the extraterrestrial contribution to that craft. That outer skin was able to project itself and curve time.
So just to be clear, we're talking about time travel here.
We're talking about time travel. ET's helped us to construct this craft.
Okay.
One particular extraterrestrial non-human that we found in a crash in 1959, he was the one that we held in captivity, and then he decided to help us in the development of something that we could use to travel throughout the universe.
What particular group or race was this ET from?
The Pleiadians.
It was a Pleiadian.
After an explosion was heard, this strange light was seen in the sky. It's bright orange and moved downward, vanishing into the night sky.
Oh, look! What is that?
Some say it's a flare gun, probably shot from the vicinity of the explosion as a distress signal. It's a common enough scenario and makes sense, right? Well, not everyone shares the sentiment, and many believe there's more to the situation than meets the eye. As the camera shakes, some keen observers point out the fact that the streetlight and the mysterious skylight share a suspiciously similar shimmy, and this naturally leads to some skepticism. Could the whole thing be the result of CGI? Many seem to think so. Believers in the paranormal, however, insist that there's something ominous happening in the footage. Personally, I don't see it, and Julius, my new assistant whose judgment I trust, doesn't see anything. Even Aaron, the believer of all things paranormal, thinks something might be trying to pull a fast one on us. What do you think?
What is that?
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god. Something exploded. What is that?
There have been many instances of videos circulating online that claim to show evidence of alien life, but some appear to be fake. One such video is this strange creature supposedly spotted in the clouds. The creature is a huge entity with tentacles. The person who shared the footage believes that it's an alien. However, something seems off here. The said alien is darker than its surroundings, which is a telltale sign that the footage has been created using computer-generated imagery. The creature is clearly out of place in its environment. In the middle of the night, a young man stumbled upon a peculiar object hovering above the ground. Upon closer inspection, he noticed that it appeared to be a ring-shaped formation made up of several small orbs. The strange object was swaying back and forth in a rhythm that seemed to defy any logical explanation. While some might argue that it was nothing more than a group of balloons, the time of night made this explanation seem unlikely. As a result, some began to speculate that the object was actually a ghostly apparition or some sort of otherworldly entity. I mean, I want to believe it, but you know that Harry Potter spell? Ridiculous. That's what comes to mind. What do you think it is? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now let's continue with the day's episode. Have you ever seen chickens play the freeze game? If you haven't, boy, are you in luck. Enjoy.
Oh goodness. Where y'all going? Where are you going? You ready for some grubs? Let's go!
A man owning a poultry farm walked into his birds standing still for what looked like 4 to 5 minutes. Perplexed, he recorded the whole thing and posted it online. How is this even possible? The truth is, it shouldn't be, and the thought of it is just bizarre. Jesters who saw the whole thing told him his birds were probably playing the freeze game. You know, that game where you stand still after the music stops. While that's something fun to think about, our paranormal enthusiasts think the whole thing is a glitch in the Matrix. What do you guys also think? This next one is a compilation of deer exhibiting strange behaviors. They even, dare I say, look possessed. You can see the animals rolling on the ground, some moving in circles and some aimlessly running about. As much as some would like to classify this as paranormal, it's not. Yes, I did say they looked possessed, but with a little research, you'd realize that these animals are actually suffering. The cause behind these distressing actions is not of supernatural origin, rather it points towards a tragic and real condition known as chronic wasting disease. This malady affects various deer species, causing neurological degeneration, behavioral abnormalities, and eventually death. It's a devastating condition, and the footage serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges that wildlife faces, including disease that can impact their populations. While the scenes are unsettling, understanding the natural causes behind such behavior allows us to address these issues with empathy and work toward the conservation and well-being of our fellow inhabitants on this planet. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us to make more videos like these ones for you. Thank you so much. Now, back to today's episode. On a tranquil day, a strange event occurred on a rice farm located in Indonesia. A metallic ball suddenly fell from the sky, startling the residents in the vicinity. The ball appeared to be very unusual, and people quickly left their homes to witness the unexpected event. As they arrived at the farm, they saw the ball lying on the ground, and everyone seemed confused and surprised at this strange situation. The ball had a metallic look, and its surface was smooth with no markings or writings on it. The nature of this ball and the reason for its fall remain unknown. Some people suggested that it could be debris from space or even extraterrestrial in origin. However, there was no way to confirm this theory yet. Fortunately, no one was harmed during the incident, and the authorities were informed to investigate the matter further. In this amazing video, we don't see a ghost, but something even more incredible. A majestic creature with bat-like wings and horns on its head, soaring through the sky. This isn't just a bird, it's like a creature from a legend, a dragon in all its breathtaking glory. Seeing such a mythical creature makes us question the world and what we know. How could something like this exist outside of stories and old tales? Is this real footage or perhaps a hoax? I mean, if we can make insects, this should be a cup of tea, right? But even so, I can't help but wonder, from ghosts to legendary monsters, I wonder what else there is to see. In an unexpected turn of events, a trail camera owner retrieved his device from the woods, hoping to find footage of wild animals, but was met with a truly shocking discovery. Staring directly at the camera was a deer, yet far from ordinary. Its antlers and eyes glowed in a haunting shade of orange, imparting an eerie and almost supernatural aura. Looks like the creature just crawled out of the pits of hell. What could this be? Conspiracy theorists and supernatural enthusiasts are having a field day with this one. Theories are flying left and right, with some suggesting it's a spirit animal, others a deer with some otherworldly energy, and another subsect stating that perhaps it's a forest guardian keeping an eye on the trail cam owner. While these theories are wild, there are those on the flip side questioning if this is a case of post-production wizardry. Perhaps someone got creative with editing software, turning a regular deer into a luminescent woodland mystery. Logically speaking, I know the last one is the easiest to believe among all the listed factors, but I also want to believe we're dealing with the supernatural. What do you guys think? How would you react if you casually saw military men in your city casually shooting blanks in the name of a drill? Well, for the inhabitants of Riga, this was no hypothetical question. It's actually happened. It turns out that this is a usual thing in Latvia, and people are informed way before time. That's why everyone is moving around casually as if nothing's happening. I know many who saw this when it first hit the internet were worried, but personally, I want to visit Latvia just to experience this. Who knows, I might even join the army. What do you think? Am I the only one wondering what's going on here? Not sure if you can tell, but we've got a man standing in front of his car, shaking a pale creature that looks almost humanoid. As he lifts it, another larger creature crawls towards him from the woods, picking up a stick in a threatening manner. Call me a skeptic, but these creatures look like humans who have painted themselves white. But why? I suspect they could be thieves who orchestrated this whole act to get the man out of his car. The idea is that the one who emerged would rush into the car and drive off while the man was distracted. Unfortunately, we didn't see the end of the footage, so we can't be sure. But if you were in this situation, what would you do? How would you react to these strange pale figures? Share your thoughts and strategies in the comments below. This footage was taken by a resident in an apartment from across the street. It shows a humanoid creature that's slightly crouched and dancing uncaringly on the pavement. The creature's movements are fluid, but unsettling, with an almost eerie grace. Its limbs bend and twist in ways that seem unnatural for a human, and its overall appearance is strange and otherworldly. The creature looks out of place, like it doesn't belong in the everyday urban setting. The way it moves with no apparent concern for its surroundings adds to the surreal quality of the scene. The resident who captured the footage zoomed in to get a better look, and the details are both fascinating and creepy. The creature's skin appears smooth, almost too smooth, and its proportions are slightly off compared to a typical human. Is this a real creature, or could it be a hoax, or perhaps a highly advanced animatronic? Some viewers speculate that it might be a being from another dimension or a mythical entity. Others suggest it could be a performance artist in a very convincing costume. What do you think? Venturing into the icy wilderness of Russia, someone stumbled upon a truly heart-wrenching scene. 3 mountain goats frozen in time, their bodies overtaken by the relentless cold. It's a harsh reality, especially when you consider that temperatures can plummet to a bone-chilling 58 degrees below average near Oymyakon. This remote region is sparsely populated with just 500 to 900 residents as of 2018. It's known for its unforgiving cold, and it's the kind of place that doesn't easily welcome human settlement. And I guess we know now why. Now back to the mountain goats. In their quest for solace from the biting cold, these tenacious beings unwittingly encountered a fate as frigid as the icy winds that surrounded them. A poignant reminder of the brutal, harsh, and sometimes unforgiving nature of life in these harsh, icy landscapes. Well, either that or this is just very good taxidermy. In a time where mysterious sightings continue to proliferate, another enigma unfolds in our night skies. There was a luminous object spotted in the sky one night. It had this rectangular shape, but looked like the moon. It's hard to make it out because it's hidden in the sky, but as it moves, you can see it. While the term UFO simply denotes an unidentified flying object, it doesn't necessarily imply one of extraterrestrial origin. There could be various explanations, ranging from atmospheric phenomena to human-made objects or, in some cases, natural celestial bodies. While I have my theories on what this might be, I'd like to hear yours. What do you think we could be dealing with here? This next footage was retrieved from a trail camera. The owner of the footage had set up the camera in the woods to track wildlife in the area, but instead, he came across something entirely unexpected. A strange man emerged from the darkness. His chest was thrust outwards, facing upwards, while his arms were awkwardly positioned behind him, pointing downward. His head was also tilted back as if something was pulling him upwards by his chest. Occasionally, he let out these strange sounds that echoed through the forest. No one knows who this man is or what could be going on there. However, Aaron speculates that this man could be a skinwalker given his odd behavior. Skinwalkers are mythical creatures from Native American folklore, often described as beings with the ability to transform into animals or other people, typically exhibiting bizarre and unsettling behaviors like this. So is that the case here, or are we simply looking at a man having seizures? This strange creature was found in the murky waters. Someone spotted it moving in calculated steps. It looks odd. Only a part of the creature was visible on the water's surface. It has smooth skin, and it looks like the tentacle of an octopus, but it's hard to tell if this is an actual octopus because the water is very murky. The way it moves with deliberate and almost mechanical precision adds to the mystery. Could it be an octopus, or is it something else entirely? The murky water makes it difficult to identify, and its smooth, almost seamless surface gives it an otherworldly appearance. Some speculate it could be a previously undiscovered species. Some say it could be a river monster, but skeptics think this is just a hoax. You've seen it too, so what say you? This is the ancient Kal Barev Temple. For all of you who are unfamiliar with it, the ancient Kal Barev Temple holds reverence as a sacred site dedicated to Kal Barev, a formidable manifestation of the Hindu deity Lord Shiva. Depicted as a fierce figure with dark skin carrying a skull, Kal Barev is venerated as the ruler of time and death in Hindu mythology. Devotees believe in his role as a protector, and worshippers seek his blessings through devoted prayers and rituals at this revered temple. However, during this tour through the temple, this person filmed something eerie. Behind the statue at the entrance of the temple, a dark entity pokes its head out. Before you jump up and scream, "It's a shadow," you should know that that's not how shadows behave. Also, the space behind this statue is too small for a person to fit in without being spotted. So, what exactly was that dark figure? Is it a manifestation of one of the gods, a demon, or is this whole thing a complete hoax? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Now, let's take a look at another puzzle. In Japan, a mysterious sighting unfolded as a cloud resembling a donut appeared in the sky. The cloud seems to be very white and has a slight glow to it. According to reports, this appeared in the sky right before they had a 7.6 earthquake. While it's very strange, there are some talks that this same type of cloud appeared in Turkey as well just before another earthquake. In some cultures, unusual natural occurrences are often interpreted as signs or messages from the divine. This suggests these clouds could be premonitions or warnings of impending danger. But some skeptics think it's just a blue beam projection, a technology that could potentially create optical illusions in the sky. The paranormal community, however, are convinced that what we are looking at is a portal to another world or universe. Which theory among these three do you agree with? A cosmic warning, a technological illusion, or a glimpse into another dimension? Angels have long been revered as divine beings, known for their luminous appearance and wings. Recently, intriguing footage has surfaced showing a collection of glowing objects in the night sky. The objects were not like the famous glowing orbs that have been spotted in the past. They were a mass of oddly shaped things moving slowly in a captivating manner. The footage has left people wondering if these creatures were truly angels. The video raises many questions. Were these objects divine beings checking in on us, or were they something else entirely? What are your thoughts? As the rain poured down, someone decided to capture the event on their camera. Turns out they did the right thing because suddenly, out of nowhere, a bolt of lightning struck the ground, accompanied by a deafening roar of thunder. Out of the lightning flash emerged a floating, glowing entity. The entity appeared to be hovering mid-air and appeared to be surrounded by an ethereal glow. The person filming was so spooked that they quickly retreated to the safety of their home. The question that remains is, what exactly was that mysterious entity? Was it an angel or some sort of interdimensional being that arrived through a portal created by the lightning strike?
Oh my God, Ryan.
Two New Yorkers seeking refuge from a snowstorm in the balmy confines of Fort Lauderdale found themselves face to face with a phenomenon they likely hadn't expected: a tornado. Witnessing their first tornado, they trained their gaze on the awe-inspiring spectacle unfolding before them. The tornado, a force of nature with its agenda, danced unpredictably from place to place, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. As you watch the footage, you can see the tornado's power as it effortlessly lifts objects into the air and transforms the serene waters below into a chaotic battleground. Hopefully, no one got hurt, but it's safe to say that these individuals were mighty glad they were nowhere near it. The connection between animals and the spirit world has long been a subject of fascination, with many believing that animals possess an innate sensitivity to the unseen. In a piece of intriguing security cam footage, this idea comes to life as a dark, man-like mass appears in the middle of the street, engaging with a group of stray dogs. The dogs, seemingly aware of the entity's presence, focus their attention on the mysterious figure. The entity bends down, placing something on the ground. Ghostly treats, perhaps. While some may be quick to attribute the footage to skilled editing, others entertain the notion that it captures a genuine interaction between the ethereal and the animal kingdom. Having watched the clip yourself, what do you think is going on here? This video clip was recorded of a little bird running along the sandy beach. It's quite unusual to see birds running at such a pace, as they tend to fly or walk around while looking for food. However, this particular bird seems to be moving at an extraordinary speed, almost as if it was training for a race with the Flash. It's an exaggeration, but yes, upon closer inspection it became evident that there was nothing wrong with the bird. The reason it appeared to be moving so unnaturally fast was simply that it was moving faster than the frames per second rate of the camera used to record the video. The difference in speed between the bird and the camera's FPS rate created an optical illusion, making the bird appear to be running much faster than it actually was. Before we move on to the next clip, kindly smash the like and subscribe buttons and bell icon if you haven't already. Done? Well, let's jump back into it. A woman was going about her daily routine when she noticed something on the floor of her room. As she got closer, she realized it was a strange-looking creature that resembled a worm. The woman was unsure about the identity of the creature, so she posted this footage seeking help. Some suggested that it could be a rugworm or some other type of worm, but without a closer examination, it's hard to tell. The question that arises is how this creature ended up in her room. Did it crawl in through an open window or door, or was it brought in on someone's clothing? I'd let you guys decide on this one. Somewhere in India, someone captured this bizarre situation. There on a field was a strange-looking object made of fire. What makes the situation even more peculiar is the presence of a being, pure white, walking away from the fiery object and eventually shooting up into the sky. Now, the armchair UFOlogists and paranormal enthusiasts are in full swing. Could it be an angel, a celestial being making a pit stop in the earthly realm, or are we looking at an intergalactic tourist who decided to make a fiery entrance before taking off again? The skeptics might be rolling their eyes, whispering about elaborate hoaxes or perhaps an unattended bonfire gone rogue. But the believers are already weaving tales of divine visitations and extraterrestrial encounters. Next, we visit the coast of Point Dume, California, where there's apparently an underwater structure that has sparked speculation and fueled many conspiracy theories. It was reportedly discovered in 2014, yet attempts to venture in it have been thwarted by challenges created by its geographical location, which include but are not limited to strong currents, along with potential risks of decompression illness due to its depth in the water. So what are some of the theories circulating about the structure? Some of these theories include the fact that it's an alien base being converted to a government facility, among others. While Aaron and I love wild theories, even we have a lot of questions. For starters, if the government is trying to convert an alien base into one of its facilities, why would its images be accessible to anyone using Google Earth? Don't get me wrong, we're always open to these possibilities, but the facts just don't add up. Can any one of you who lives there confirm this for us? Would really appreciate it. There are a lot of hybrid creatures around, like the mule and others, that look quite reasonable in their mixture. Now take a look at this footage taken back in 1972. It shows a horse-like creature with a very long neck. Well, not as long as a giraffe, but still quite prominent. The face of the creature, however, looks like that of a kangaroo or some other marsupial. Could this be a case of a mixture between a horse and a kangaroo, or is it something else entirely? The footage is intriguing. The creature's posture is graced like a horse, yet its elongated neck and kangaroo-like face make it look unlike anything commonly known. The proportions are unusual, blending the features of two very different animals. Hybrid creatures do exist, but they usually come from closely related species. For example, mules are a cross between horses and donkeys, which belong to the same genus. Horses and kangaroos, however, are from entirely different taxonomic families, making a natural hybridization between them virtually impossible. Anyone with an explanation? Don't call me a skeptic, but isn't it funny we have a video this old with such amazing quality, but struggle with our alien clips from just a decade ago? Well, this is my cue to move on to the next clip. This is definitely a cowfish, at least that's what I would call it based on its appearance. It's a fish with the head of a cow, a truly bizarre and fascinating creature. But don't worry, this isn't some strange new species discovered in the depths of the ocean. It's AI-generated, a product of advanced algorithms designed to create imaginative and surreal images by blending features of different animals. The cowfish is a perfect example of the incredible potential of AI in art and creativity. By combining the familiar and the fantastical, AI can generate images that challenge our perceptions and spark our imaginations. What do you think? The cowfish may not be real, but it certainly gets us thinking about the endless possibilities of AI. A tragic incident occurred in El Salvador when a car drove off a bridge. This tragic incident, however, led to a rather shocking discovery. A few moments after this happened, a truck passed by the scene with the camera capturing an eerie sight. A cloaked dark figure atop the vehicle, resembling the Grim Reaper. Given what had just happened some moments ago, this was not too shocking. The Reaper had come to collect the soul of the unfortunate accident victim. Now, logic often challenges us to find rational explanations for such occurrences. Some might argue that it's a trick of light and shadow, or perhaps an oddly shaped object on top of the truck. However, the symbolism of a figure resembling the Grim Reaper in the aftermath of a fatal accident is undeniably too much of a coincidence. Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, these moments can evoke a sense of awe and make us ponder the mysteries of life and death. But then again, we can't help but wonder if we just saw a Grim Reaper on the job. A couple buys a 1960s home thinking they've hit the vintage jackpot, only to uncover Pandora's box of strange artifacts left by the previous owners. Among many of the things they found was a suitcase they decided to open and check. When they opened it, they were shocked to find another smaller replica of the suitcase inside. Apart from that, they found a pencil, an eraser, and candy. Nothing out of the ordinary, but guess what they saw when they opened the smaller one? There was a doll strapped into the suitcase. Now, I don't know about you, but this looks like the scene from a horror movie where people tamper with cursed items, and then all hell breaks loose. The couple was very creeped out by this. I mean, who straps a doll into a suitcase and then puts the suitcase into another suitcase, if the thing is not possessed? I think they should move out of the house, and if you were in such a situation, would you have opened the suitcase? My team and I came across this video that was made to demonstrate how scary the world would be if the central bank digital currency, CBDC, was implemented. Take a look.
Your monthly universal basic income has been deposited into your account. For more information, press details. You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee. Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days.
Did you see that? As soon as the money was paid, deductions were immediately made, and the rest of the money was set to expire in a few days. Oh, this is wild. Now, for those who do not know what this is, let me explain. The Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC, is a digital form of a country's currency, issued and regulated by its central bank. Unlike traditional money, CBDC would be entirely digital, meaning transactions could be tracked, controlled, and potentially manipulated by the issuing authority. The video highlights a potential downside of such a system: the ability of the government or central bank to set conditions on how and when the money can be used. In this case, the money expiring after a few days is a chilling concept. What do you think about the idea of a central bank digital currency?
Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days.
This footage was taken in the sky over Arizona. In it, you can see several small objects moving about, seemingly interacting with each other as they flit around. What could they be?
What is this in the sky, y'all?
What the is that, bro?
What is this?
In most sightings like this, people are quick to label them as UFOs, and it's easy to see why. The way these objects maneuver, swiftly changing directions and appearing to communicate, does indeed bring to mind the classic image of the extraterrestrial spacecraft. However, Julius thinks that they're just drones up there. It's a plausible explanation given the increasing prevalence of drones in recent years. Drones are often used for various purposes, including photography, surveillance, and recreational activities. Their advanced capabilities allow them to hover, move in precise patterns, and even perform complex maneuvers which could easily explain what we're seeing in the footage. So what do you think? Could these objects be drones controlled by someone on the ground, or is there a chance that there's something more mysterious?
What is this in the sky, y'all?
What the is that, bro?
What is this?
In this next clip, we encounter a seemingly supernatural phenomenon, an ordinary roll of toilet paper suspended in mid-air, frozen in time. No need for supernatural explanations here. This peculiar phenomenon is a masterpiece crafted by none other than humans and the cold. All it took was a dry toilet paper and a splash of water left exposed to the bone-chilling elements. The result, a mid-air spectacle, a frozen masterpiece. It shows weather conditions are getting worse by the day. Hot places are cranking up the heat, and cold places are turning into icy wonderlands. This sure serves as a chilly reminder of the changing climate. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send a Bigfoot after you, now would you? A group of unsuspecting anglers peacefully cast their lines, only to be greeted by a colossal creature gliding beneath the water's surface. They recorded this and placed it on the internet. Once the video started to gain traction, everyone had one question. What could that be? Some suggested the usual suspects, a playful dolphin or perhaps a mammoth catfish. A closer look, however, and you'd realize that the creature in question has little to nothing in common with these creatures. Its form appears to deviate from the familiar profiles of our aquatic friends. As we contemplate the possibilities, it becomes evident that the ocean continues to guard its secrets. Could this be an encounter with a previously undiscovered species or a mythical creature that's not been seen in thousands of years? Either that, or it's simply a play of shadows and light, teasing our perceptions. What thinkest thou? This surveillance camera that was installed to monitor the road captured something quite disturbing. As the cars were passing by, an unusual object was seen flying past. It was entirely black and appeared to have wings, but it was clear that it was not a bird. The creature looked much larger than a bird, and as it flew past, something that resembled human feet could be seen. It's quite difficult to determine what exactly the creature was, but it could be a human-bird hybrid or some kind of mutant. The incident has led to many theories and speculations, but no one knows for sure what we are looking at. Aaron thinks it might be a Garuda, but Julius points out that the whole thing is too unnatural to be a real capture. He suspects it's an elaborate hoax. What do you guys think? The phenomenon of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, has been a topic of intrigue and speculation for many years. While most reports describe saucer-shaped objects, there are instances where the shapes of UFOs have been particularly unusual. This footage captures one such instant, where an oddly shaped UFO was caught on camera. Interestingly, this type of UFO has been documented in the past, with reports dating as far back as 1561, when it was sighted in Nuremberg. The object is described as being shaped like an upside-down cursor, which is a unique and rather unexpected shape for a UFO. There is even a pamphlet from years ago that is a drawing of the said UFO, adding to the mystery surrounding it. What's your take on this? So riddle me this. I've always wanted to say that.
But listen carefully.
What gently hums in the country air, a hidden melody beyond compare, neither seen nor known. In fields it hides a mystical sound that softly abides. The answer to this riddle is the answer to what's responsible for the hum. If you know it, tell us in the comments section. Start your answer with the word riddle so we can easily identify it. We may have something nice for the person with the right answer.
This motherfucker just fell from the sky.
A man was apparently out on a job when this object fell from the sky. The said object had smoke coming from it and it made a hole in the ground where it fell. He shared his discovery with the online community, hoping for some praise and answers, but all he was met with was skepticism and disdain. Many who saw the object are calling it a hoax and arguing that the object looks a bit too man-made for comfort. It seems like the line between reality and attention-seeking fiction is getting blurrier by the day. In cases like these, critical examination by professionals can help distinguish between genuine astronomical phenomena and instances that may involve human-made objects or deliberate attempts to garner attention. Looking at this, though, I give my votes to those calling it a hoax. What about you? What do you think this could be? During an expedition in the dense rainforests of Brazil, a curious explorer stumbled upon a set of mysterious bones. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that the bones were of an unusual shape and didn't resemble any known human bones. This naturally created a buzz, even amongst those in the scientific community, with some speculating that they could be the remains of an extraterrestrial creature. A number of them, after examining the bones, thought it had to be fake. Simply put, the authenticity of the footage has been a topic of debate with mixed hypotheses. If proven to be authentic, this discovery could provide some of the strongest evidence yet that aliens exist amongst us. Having seen it with your own eyes, what do you think? Here we have another situation that is considered a glitch in the Matrix. A man came home from work, and as he entered his room, he noticed a tissue paper that was hanging mid-air in the corner. The tissue paper appears to be suspended mid-air without any visible means of support. But not just that, it was also frozen in time, which was quite perplexing. He searched the surrounding area for any evidence of strings or wires, but there was none. The tissue paper seemed to be hanging there on its own accord. One of the commentators on the original post was not amused. He believed the room had cobwebs. Julius thinks it's a hoax and Aaron thinks demonic beings are playing tricks on him. What do you think?
I'm getting a video. There's this huge thing making re-entry right now.
In this next clip, a man on the road becomes an unwitting witness to a mesmerizing event. A mysterious ball of light gracefully gliding through the sky, leaving behind a radiant trace. It almost seems as if the object is signing the heavens with its luminosity.
Huge fireball up in the sky. That's actually sick.
One question lingers. Was this celestial phenomenon a mere meteor in its fleeting brilliance, or could we be looking at extraterrestrial visitors camouflaged in such a manner so they would appear unsuspecting? It's hard to say, really. On one hand, I see a meteor. On the other, I know how far our extraterrestrial neighbors will go to keep their presence a myth. So what do you guys think is happening here? Share your thoughts with us. Capture from a farm where a perplexing discovery was made. Our discoverer, who also doubles as a farmer, stumbled upon a creature with a striking resemblance to the legendary chupacabra. The creature barely had any hair on its skin and looked a little strange and perhaps sickly. While many would have thought that they were dealing with a canine suffering from mange, our discoverer insists that this was a chupacabra. According to him, he'd noticed other things which made him sure it could be a chupacabra. For one, his chickens had been mysteriously disappearing in a way that was reminiscent of the work of the chupacabra. We're not exactly sure if he was finding the chickens with their blood drained. If he was, it could entertain the possibility of a chupacabra. Other than that, my team and I believe he may have simply encountered a canine suffering from mange. The disappearance of his chicken could also be associated with the same creature we're seeing, or coyotes and other predators that may live around him. What do you guys think, though? Is that really a chupacabra, or is the farmer simply seeing things that are not there? Share your thoughts in the comment section. I was a bit shocked by this footage when I first saw it, but then I realized that it looked so familiar. I bet it does to you too. It's a scene from the Suicide Squad movie, that humanoid weasel creature licking the wired prison door. In the 2021 movie, The Suicide Squad, there's a character named Weasel who is a strange humanoid creature with an unsettling appearance and behavior. In this particular scene, Weasel is licking the prison door. Movies often use such memorable scenes to create a lasting impact, and it seems like this one did just that. It's easy to get drawn into the strange and eerie visuals, mistaking them for something real, especially when seen out of context. So the next time you come across a weird or shocking clip, take a moment to think if it might be from a movie or TV show.
He's a weasel. He's harmless. I mean, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but, you know, we got him to, I think he's agreed to do this.
A woman was walking home one night when she spotted something extraordinary. Perched on one of the light poles was a bird, but not just any bird. It looked like it was engulfed in flames. The bird stood there, glowing a vibrant orange, its feathers shimmering like they were made of fire. The fiery bird remained on the pole for a while, its glowing presence casting an eerie light around it. Then, as suddenly as it appeared, it took off into the night sky, taking the glowing aura with it. Now, this sighting brings to mind ancient legends of the phoenix, a mythical bird that is said to be engulfed in flames. According to legend, the phoenix is a symbol of rebirth, burning itself to ashes only to rise again anew. These tales have been passed down through generations, much like the stories of Bigfoot and fairies, creatures often relegated to the realm of myth and tradition. But in this case, it seems all these legendary characters are somehow coming to life. Could it be that these mythical creatures are real? Or is there another explanation for these extraordinary sightings? Perhaps AI? Share your thoughts.
I don't know, but you tell me what you think that is. It looks like something out of an arcade game.
In this recent and intriguing footage, a peculiar light was observed moving in circular patterns in the night sky. The unusual movement raised questions about the light's origin and nature, as stars typically don't exhibit such behavior. Skeptics, ever watchful, cast doubt upon the authenticity of this celestial waltz, proposing the involvement of CGI in crafting such enchantment. Yet others lean toward the possibility of something more enigmatic. Could it be a celestial phenomenon, a dance of light refracted through the Earth's atmospheric layers? Alternatively, does it signal a visitation from realms unknown, or just someone having a little fun with a flashlight? This next clip was recorded back in 2018 when a man went camping in the woods of Oregon, alone.
Shoots, Oregon. Well, close to Bend, Oregon.
He did his best to film everything, but little did he know those short clips he filmed would be documentations of the last moments of his life. As he settled in at nighttime, he heard noises outside his tent. It sounded like rocks being moved about. But how?
Sounds right outside the tent. There's something right outside the tent.
Perplexed, he shouted for whatever or whoever it was to leave, but the noise continued.
Leave me alone!
Based on the footage, one can even state that his shouting might have attracted the intruder because it came towards his tent and attempted to get in, but the camper saw it and ran out. After he was sure he'd lost it, he settled down and started looking around. Perhaps he wanted to make sure that whatever it was had really gone. But then, out of nowhere, a tall, pale creature came toward him, and that's where the footage ends. The man was never seen again, and the only evidence of the incident is this footage. Did you catch a glimpse of what appeared to him, though? It looked gray and alien. What do you think happened to him? If this doesn't scare you a bit, well, I don't know what will. I mean, it looks cool though. A dog that has been given a set of robotic limbs along with a helmet. The robotic limbs mimic the movement of its actual limbs, creating a very bizarre yet fascinating sight. Watching the dog move with such precision thanks to the advanced technology is both unsettling and impressive. It shows just how far technology has come, pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible. It's a remarkable blend of biology and robotics, highlighting the incredible innovations happening in science and technology. But it also raises many questions and concerns about the future of such advancements. What you just listened to was my original commentary for the clip. Julius showed up out of nowhere and laughed at me. Guys, am I missing something? Those who are into anime will be very shocked to watch this footage. A man was walking by the woods when he came across a light coming from within the trees. Curious, he got closer to have a look, and this is what he found. There was a creature with many glowing tails in the woods. It looked remarkably like the nine-tailed fox from Narrow to Anime geeks who know exactly what I mean. But this creature is a character of myth, so how is this possible? The creature is not easily unidentifiable. It's unclear if it's indeed a fox or not. It was just in the woods, with its tail swishing about in the dark, illuminating the place. After a while, the creature leapt off the ground and vanished. Do you think this is fake or real? Could it be a hoax, a digital creation? Or is there a possibility that this mythical creature might actually exist? The lady you see on your screen currently is one of our favorite Amazon drivers who's always on time and never seems to mess up our deliveries. She's recorded this clip because she's been trying to tell people that one of the drop-off depots is haunted, and everyone just laughs at her. While a part of me might have considered her story as an excuse for them delivering my Christmas present on the 28th of December instead of the 23rd or 24th, leading me to explain to my nephews and nieces that Santa could be late sometimes, this isn't about me. Anyway, I digress. As she walked into the room, the locks just started opening by themselves even after she had closed them, and they opened again. Nobody believed her, and she was very happy to have caught it on camera. She even shared the clip on a number of paranormal platforms. While many told her she was onto something, a number of individuals pointed out the possibility of the locks malfunctioning. Some also mentioned that there was a CCTV camera in the corner and that it looks if the locks could be remotely controlled, it would be the I-team that was just messing with her. I mean, I don't think that's impossible, but you guys tell me what you think. Could we really be dealing with the machine malfunction, the IT team messing with her, or are there ghosts of individuals whose Christmas gifts weren't delivered on time and were very upset? Anyway, let's hear you out in the comments section.
Got a little camera! Thank God! What?
A truck driver sent this clip and it's got us all in the office agitated. Listen. Do you hear it? There's someone banging against the container doors. That's not normal and shouldn't be the case. These containers aren't meant to transport living things, talk less humans. Not sure why he didn't help, but perhaps he was scared out of his life. Many who saw this clip are suspecting it's human trafficking, even though it was uploaded on a paranormal platform. What do you guys think?
Banging on the door of that container.
Tell me what you see. It appears that there is an entity moving in the water, and although it's not visible, there's a clear indication that something quite large is present in the water. Some people believe that this could be a massive sea creature swimming out of the water. However, I'm inclined to think that it's an electrical cable being dragged out of the water, and the water's movement is causing the cable to appear to be moving on its own. What's your opinion on this footage? This was captured in the United States. The exact location is unknown. It was taken by a late-night beachgoer who had sneaked onto the beach to take a swim. While on the beach, the individual noticed this pale creature that was crawling on its hands and feet. The creature was waddling along the shoreline with calculated steps, moving in a manner that was both eerie and unsettling. Thankfully, the person who captured the footage was able to find a hiding spot and remain unnoticed by the creature. Despite this, the creature's appearance and behavior have left many people wondering what it could be. Some speculate that it may be a bloodthirsty monster, while others believe it could be a rake. Until more information is available, it's impossible to say for sure what the creature is or what its intentions might be. Personally, I have doubts about its authenticity, but I wouldn't want to be that guy, so let's move on. A woman was walking home late one night when she heard strange noises coming from a nearby car. As she got closer, she realized the sound wasn't coming from the car but from a sewer opening nearby. Intrigued, she moved closer and heard a low growl echoing from the depths of the sewer. The growl sounded like it came from some sort of creature, but what kind of wild animal could be stuck down there? While it's not impossible for animals to get trapped in sewers, this sound felt unnerving, almost otherworldly. However, not everyone thinks it's just a lost animal. There's a theory that monsters or cryptids thrive underground, hiding from the surface world. Could this growl be from one of those creatures trying to make its way to the surface? Let's have your thoughts on this one. So with all the UFO clips flying around, sometimes we miss Trailcam captures like these. This particular Trailcam was set up deep in the woods, and while the owner was expecting to capture livestock, this is what his camera captured. It's a humanoid creature that appears bent over. It moves in an unnatural and unusual way. The funny thing about this capture is that this is the second time this particular individual has captured a clip like this from the same location. When he uploaded it the first time, he didn't think much of the suggestions because he wanted to believe someone was pranking him. But lightning doesn't strike twice in the same location, right? Or does it? Well, it did, and that's how come we are having this conversation. Having seen the same creature twice in the same area and confirmed it wasn't human, he wants answers, and the paranormal community gave it right back to him. This is definitely a rake. After making that confirmation, we did some searching, and it turns out that while the world has been focused on UFOs, cryptid sightings have also been on the rise. The only reason we didn't notice was that we were focused on the extraterrestrials. But you have to wonder, is there a connection between the increase in UFO sightings and increased paranormal activity on this planet? Are the paranormals and cryptids responding to UFOs' presence? Is there a connection between these two groups? Are they indeed the same? Well, time will tell, but until then, if you've got theories, please share them with us. This person was captured from afar in the wilderness. Although not very clear, you can make out the silhouette of a slender person. The person appears to be wearing a robe with an oddly shaped head protruding from their body. The ears were sticking out, resembling the iconic ears of Yoda from Star Wars. What creature could we be looking at? Some might see it as a rare encounter with something beyond our understanding. Others might think it's just our brains playing tricks on us, showing us things that aren't there. What about you? What do you think? At first glance, this footage looks like a capture of the sky with a beautiful shade of blue. However, if you examine the footage more closely, you will see that there is something else there too, a strange entity that comes and goes. This entity moves in a back-and-forth motion, appearing and disappearing at seemingly random intervals. While it might resemble a cloud, it moves too quickly to be one. Could this be some sort of ghostly apparition? It's hard to say for sure, but it's certainly a possibility worth considering, don't you think? And while you wrap your head around that, tell me what you think about this capture. It was taken on the 21st of December 2024 in Oregon by a DoorDasher. Wait, is that what they're called, or did I just make that up? Yeah. Anyway, after attending to routine deliveries, the individual spotted flashes of light in the sky in an unusual way. Intrigued, he recorded and uploaded it online for people to share their opinions. Many thought he was being silly and that it was probably just lightning. While that sounds logical, lightning during December in Oregon sounds like the kind of thing that you knew was theoretically possible but just not practical. Many who belong to the paranormal community, however, felt that this had to be something there, something paranormal. Even some made a bold claim that the light was probably coming from inside an alien spaceship. They added that it could be malfunctioning, which is why we're seeing what we are seeing. Typically, they're supposed to be cloaked, so to have only a part of it show is a sign of malfunction. I know some of you may be thinking that we're reaching with this one, but please just think about it again. Two residents in Florida recently shared videos that are stirring up questions. Captured on December 30th, 2024, the footage shows thousands of birds filling the sky, all flying out of Florida. What's unusual is that these are buzzards. Buzzards are known to fly into Florida during this time of year, not the other way around, so what could possibly be causing this reversal? This particular event has left many wondering if it could be some kind of sign from Mother Nature. These days, we've seen an increasing number of strange occurrences that seem to defy the natural order. Wild weather patterns, unusual animal behaviors, and now this. Could it be a message? A warning even from the planet itself? Buzzards are often associated with change or foreboding in folklore, and their sudden exodus from Florida has sparked a wave of speculation online. Some suggest it could be tied to environmental shifts like changes in temperature or pressure that confuse the bird's instincts. Others see it as nature's way of signaling that something is amiss. What do you think? A home security camera set outside a building overlooking the city captured something remarkable. It was late at night when, out of nowhere, a bright flash of light illuminated everything, then vanished just as suddenly. As soon as the flash occurred, the lights went out and then came back on almost immediately after the flash disappeared. If you look closely at the left side of the footage where the light flashes, you'll notice a beam of red light fading away. What could this have been? Most people might assume it's a transformer blowing, but considering how it lit up the sky and everything around, it seems to be something else entirely. Some believe that this is evidence of alien activity, speculating that the bright flash and the red beam of light are not of earthly origin. The sudden and intense nature of the light, coupled with the power outage, adds an air of mystery to the event. What do you think? Could this be a mundane electrical issue, or is there a chance that it's something more extraordinary? Next, we've got a fish that could be best described as a candidate for the Finding Nemo mission. This footage was allegedly captured and emphasized on allegedly by a deep-sea adventurer who came across this rather unique creature during his exploration. It's a fish that has two faces, one in the usual place at the head and another where the tail is supposed to be. The second face, though not functional, gives this fish an extraordinarily peculiar appearance. Such an odd fella. This adventurer was astounded to find this bizarre fish, which looked like something out of a science fiction movie. Its strange anatomy makes it a fascinating subject for marine biologists and enthusiasts alike. What could cause a fish to develop such an unusual feature? Is it a rare genetic mutation, or perhaps an adaptation to its deep-sea environment? Aaron, for the first time in history, thinks this is AI, but what do you guys think? Stepping away from the orb experience, we move on to another kind of paranormal experience. This photograph was taken during a family gathering years ago, and it captured the magic of the moment. It was a happy time for all family members, and the smile, even though you can really see it, tells it all. A family member reminiscing took a long look at the picture and noticed elements he hadn't noticed before. There was actually a translucent figure in the background, and after enhancing the photo a little to make the figure more visible, this is what we ended up with. Some say it's a monster or something along those lines. When I look at the image, however, I see an older man with a tie on. Don't ask me how, but that's just the vibe it gives me. Another team member who saw this image thinks it's a reflection of the individual who took the photograph. When you think about it, that seems very plausible. We could both be wrong through our interpretations, and it could be nothing but pareidolia. But you've seen the image, so what do you think? I am unsure of the exact location where this unusual footage was captured, but it shows a strange balloon that appears to be following an airplane as it prepares to land. The balloon seems to be situated directly in the aircraft's flight path, observing intently as the plane descends. As the landing progresses, the balloon trails behind the airplane before ultimately floating down to the ground. This incident adds to a growing number of reports across America concerning bizarre balloon appearances in the sky, which has sparked considerable concern among citizens. Many are left wondering if these sightings are a form of surveillance or something more sinister. If this situation is indeed a case of foreign involvement, it raises questions about whether it mirrors similar circumstances encountered in other regions. This is allegedly happening in India. Residents of West Delhi have all reported an unusual phenomenon. Instead of water, a blue foamy liquid has been coming from their taps. No one knows for sure what this could be. Some speculate that it might be factory waste that has somehow seeped into the water system. The idea that industrial pollutants could contaminate the local water supply is concerning and raises many questions about safety and regulation. Authorities are investigating the cause, but until they provide a clear explanation, the residents are left with this mysterious and alarming situation. What do you think could be the reason for this strange blue liquid? Next, we've got another strange phenomenon, but this time it's a natural one.
What is that?
Did you hear those sounds? The lady recording this video had been hearing strange sounds from the sky. It sounded like thunder, but at the same time, it didn't. She's a seventh-generation Floridian, according to her, and she's never heard anything like this. She took to one of our paranormal platforms to share her experience, and sure enough, people were ready with all sorts of theories. The firmament theory showed up. It was not the only one, though. Some suggested that it might be high-tension power lines. I have my theories too, but this time I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think?
What is that?
Abandoned hospitals have the creepiest captures, and this is no exception. The clip starts off looking pretty ordinary until a dark mass or shadow steps out of one of the rooms and looks in the direction of the one recording. Clearly, the dark mass is a large being or person. It quickly peaks and then retreats almost as though it were camera shy. This was recorded by a security guard working at an abandoned and privately owned health facility. He'd been noticing some strange occurrences around the place and decided to go around the facility one day with his camera running. It was boring for the most part until he captured what he saw on your screen. Once he captured that, he got out of the place and reviewed the clip several times before uploading it online. Many who saw it thought it was a demon, whilst a few others felt it might be a shadow creature. Personally, I think it's hard to call it that, as it could go either way, but what do you guys also think? There are a few who are also skeptical that this is the real deal, but let's hear your thoughts on it first. Again, we travel back to December the 30th, 2024, when someone captured this incredible footage in Nevada. The clip starts with a plane flying by, but as beautiful as that is, that's not our focus. Take a look at the clouds in focus. Does anything seem out of place? No? Well, pay attention and you should see the faint lights in the cloud. Tell me those lights don't form the shape of a saucer. They do, don't they? The individual who uploaded the clip insists he saw a UFO and that the clip doesn't do the scene justice. He did his genuine best to convince us this was the real deal, but he didn't have to. We all know what happens in Nevada after all. A team of men were busy working on a property when they chanced upon a mysterious hole in the ground. Intrigued, they took a closer look, and to their amazement, they saw a creature that resembled a dragon-like serpent moving in the hole. This creature is known as a worm, which is a mythical creature often depicted as a cave worm dwelling in underground tunnels. Worm is considered to be one of the most dangerous creatures that you can ever come across. It's also believed that a worm guards treasures in the underground caves and tunnels that they inhabit. However, it's not easy to approach them as they are always on high alert, ready to attack anyone who tries to steal their treasure. In summary, if you ever come across a worm, it's best to run and never look back. But that also means that you just found yourself riches unheard of. Run and leave the treasure or fight the creature for it. Apparently a lot, but this is not one of them. It's what we call a leopard seal, not a mystical creature this time. Leopard seals are strong predators known for their sleek, spotted look and great hunting skills. They live in the cold waters around Antarctica and nearby areas where they're top hunters. Their bodies are shaped like torpedoes, and they have powerful jaws with sharp teeth, making them perfect for life in icy seas. They mostly eat fish, squid, and krill, but they also hunt penguins and other seals. Someone sent us this footage claiming it was the Loch Ness Monster, but come on. I didn't need to go to Julius to know this wasn't one. What do you guys think? This next one comes from an older man who noticed strange things happening on his compound. Confused and perplexed by the whole thing, he had cameras installed on his property. Once the cameras were up, he started to capture the very things he thought he was seeing. It wasn't old age after all. They were real, and for the first time he had evidence for those who doubted him. Having evidence was great, but now the big question was, what were these shadow creatures he was capturing? Why were they in his home, and was he in danger? The quest for answers had him upload this online. My team thinks he's dealing with shadow creatures, but we could be wrong. You've seen the clip, so what do you also think? These photographs look pretty unique, don't they? Well, that's because they were captured by a man who claims to have created a camera capable of capturing interdimensional beings. Before you write this one off, take a pretty good look at the images. It turns out similar images were seen by some pilots during the Vietnam War. Pilots during the war were allegedly given special night vision goggles. These were some of the earlier iterations of the tech. One was blue and the other was red. Those who received the red were subsequently injected with a special substance to make using the glasses a smooth process. What happened, however, was unexpected. The pilots started reporting that they were seeing demons, or at least beings that looked like that, flying toward them. They started firing at these things that no one else could see except them while flying. It was so chaotic, and they had to stop using the technology. Some individuals, however, allegedly held onto them and are selling them on eBay if you are interested. Now back to the subject. Do you think they're truly encountering interdimensional creatures? Also, do you think there is a way to actually see demons using such tech? If there is, does it mean demons are all around us and we simply can't see them? I know these are a lot of questions, but please do share your thoughts on them with me. NASA launched a rover to Mars to explore the planet's surface. According to the one who uploaded this clip, during the mission, the rover stumbled upon an unexpected discovery: a finger. It's, however, unclear who it belongs to. According to him, further analysis is yet to be carried out to determine its origin and to understand how it ended up on the planet. There's a possibility that it could belong to extraterrestrial life, or it could have belonged to a human who previously visited the planet. As much as I want to believe this is true, everything about it screams hoax and false. I mean, if NASA discovered something like this, it would be big news, unless, of course, they're in cahoots with the aliens. What do you guys think? As we all know, technology has advanced far beyond our wildest imaginations. Tesla's work with robots is an excellent example of this. However, what caught my attention recently was something even more fascinating: a piece of footage that we discovered. It shows a person holding what appears to be a fly in their hand, but on closer examination, it becomes clear that this insect is not a natural one. It appears to be made entirely of metal and has a head that doesn't resemble that of a regular insect. There were some in the paranormal community, however, who thought it looked like a cicada or a jarfly. I looked them up, and I get where they're coming from, but this isn't it. This discovery raises many questions that I find intriguing. For instance, who made this metal fly, and for what purpose? Are there other animals or insects in the wild that are not real, like this one? If so, what implications does this have for our understanding of the natural world? Speaking of spirits and demons, take a look at this clip a Reddit user named EvanServe6268 shared on one of our ghost threads. He allegedly records this from his doorbell cam, and it shows a shadow being or creature running across the walkway just as some cars go by. Naturally, this caused excitement in the community, and many were of the deal that this was the real deal. Some, however, were skeptical and chose to be logical and have faith. This user, for instance, mentions that there is a possibility of it being a shadow of someone coming from either side of the street, whose shadow had been projected in that manner due to the vehicle lights. Another affirmed this assertion by stating that he had had similar experiences. While many were initially excited for the possibility of dealing with a ghost, this excitement soon fizzled into a logical argument, with many agreeing that this could be nothing more than a projected shadow. You've seen the clip, so what do you think as well? A man shared an eerie experience he had during a drive. While on the road, he came across a restricted area with a single narrow path leading into the unknown. Out of curiosity, he followed it. What he discovered at the end of that path was like something out of a horror movie. A village completely abandoned and hidden by overgrown trees and vines. The home stood eerily silent, untouched by life, but also strangely preserved. When he entered one of the houses, he found it fully furnished. TVs sat in their places, children's toys were scattered on the floors, and the kitchen still had dishes on the counters. Everything was as if the people had just stepped out, except for the dust that coated every surface, proof that no one had been there for a long time. As he walked through the empty house, something caught his eye. The calendars in every house were frozen in the same year, 2001. It turns out this hauntingly empty village is located in Italy, and its residents were forced to leave in 2001 after a devastating earthquake struck the area. The damage was so severe and the risk of more quakes so high that the entire community had to flee, leaving everything behind in their rush to safety. What's even more chilling is that this isn't an isolated incident. Across Italy, there are many such ghost villages, entire communities evacuated after deadly earthquakes rendered their homes too dangerous to live in. While walking at a sandy place on his way home, a man started to hear strange sounds coming from an odd-looking manhole covered in the sand. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, he got closer, and as expected, when it came to these things, the sounds grew louder. The noise is hard to describe, so try to listen. Did you hear that? It's very haunting and chilling, echoing eerily in the stillness of the night. What do you think could be down there making these chilling noises? Given that we can't see anything, the mysterious sound in the end leaves a lot to the imagination. Are we dealing with an animal trapped below, some kind of mechanical issue, or something even more inexplicable? Share your thoughts. A family went to the zoo and came across an unusual sight, a crocodile. The creature had its mouth slightly ajar, but it appeared lifeless, all dried up and stiff, lying on the ground. However, upon closer inspection, they noticed some movement in its mouth. The skin on its lower jaw was pulsating slightly. Don't be fooled by how dead it looks. This creature is probably just in hibernation. Crocodiles, like many reptiles, can enter a state of torpor, especially in cooler weather. During this time, they remain very still and reduce their metabolic rate to conserve energy. This can make them appear lifeless, but they are very much alive and will become active again once conditions improve. So while it might look alarming at first glance, it's likely that this crocodile is just taking a long, deep rest, waiting for the right moment to spring back to life. About the strange things in its mouth, well, maybe an expert here could help us with that. I recently came across this clip on one of our platforms, and it was allegedly uploaded by an individual who came across this creature he had never seen in his life. Though obscured by the foliage, the creature appears to have some kangaroo-like qualities with black fur. I'm no wildlife expert, but I feel like that's not a kangaroo, and the uploader also insists it's some wild and weird hybrid. Can any of you help us identify what this creature is? It would be greatly appreciated. What would you do if you saw this happening near your home? You'd become concerned, right? Well, that's exactly how the individual recording this clip was when he saw a helicopter dropping substances into the sky. He recorded the clip and uploaded it online seeking answers. While some were quick to suspect the government was probably poisoning the atmosphere, some pointed out that it could just be cloud seeding. For those unfamiliar with the term, it's a weather modification technique used to enhance rainfall by artificially encouraging cloud and condensation. It involves dispersing substances like silver iodide, potassium iodide, or dry ice into the atmosphere, usually from planes of ground brace generators. These particles act as nuclei for water vapor to condense around, forming water droplets or ice crystals, which can grow large enough to fall as precipitation. In some cases, salt particles are used to target worm clouds, particularly in regions like the UAE. So it really could be cloud seeding, but it usually occurs in the UAE, and it's usually done with planes and not helicopters. Without more information, it's hard to say what the situation here is, but many in the paranormal community are skeptical and very suspicious about the whole thing. What say you? This footage was taken at night by a couple who were out for a walk. As they strolled, they noticed a strange-looking blue light in the sky. The light was rectangular and just floating there, glowing softly against the dark backdrop. The couple were both intrigued and puzzled by the sight. The rectangular shape of the light was unusual, not something typically seen in the night sky. It didn't move like an airplane or a drone, it just hovered silently, emitting an eerie blue glow. Some people believe it could be a new type of technology or a secret military project. Others think it might be an alien spacecraft or some kind of otherworldly phenomenon. What do you think this blue rectangular light could be? What is happening here? This cat is walking on the tiles, but something very strange is going on. It looks like the tiles are moving like a treadmill because the cat is staying in the same place while the tile floor appears to be shifting beneath it. At first glance, it seems like the cat is simply strolling along, but a closer look reveals that its surroundings are not behaving normally. The tiles move in perfect synchronization with the cat's steps, creating the illusion that the floor itself is moving. The cat, despite its efforts to move forward, remains stationary, as if caught in a surreal treadmill-like effect. This scene looks so unusual. Could it be some sort of glitch or just an illusion? Julius thinks he's slipping on the tiles, but Aaron thinks otherwise. A man was sitting in his car, stuck in traffic, behind a motorcycle. As he glanced over, he noticed something strange reflected in the motorcycle's mirror. There, he caught sight of a very pale face. Only part of it was visible, showcasing the forehead, a pair of arched eyebrows, and one eye peering out. The striking resemblance reminded me of Michael Jackson. As the vehicles finally began moving along the road, the man filming spotted a large poster. To his shock, the face on the poster matched exactly with the one he'd seen in the motorcycle mirror. It was the face of a woman who had passed away not long ago, her expression hauntingly beautiful and eerily similar to the reflection. This coincidence has left many wondering if this could have been the woman's spirit. What do you think? You know how people used to make fun of our orb clips in the past and ask why it's happening in the USA only and not in other countries? Almost as if to suggest we were fabricating the clips or lying. Well, things have changed, and it's not like that anymore. We've shared various clips from other countries, and what you see on your screen is actually from Romania, and they have zero tolerance for these strange things in their skies. This orb appeared in the Romanian airspace, and for hours it stood in one spot. The military, seeing this, decided to engage and fired at the orb multiple times. If you know anything about payloads from these vessels, you should know that they are powerful. Yet somehow, the missiles or whatever it is that they're firing simply disappear after getting within a certain distance of the orb. It's almost as though there was a barrier absorbing the firepower. I mean, these orbs are a problem, but seeing it do this makes them even more of a threat. What are we able to do to fight them when we need to? While it's exciting to see another country experience and confirm the existence of these orbs, seeing how the orb easily dealt with everything thrown at it has us worried. What say you? A resident was inside their home when they heard some commotion from the neighbor's house. They went to investigate and found this strange scene. They saw a pair of animal-like legs with an upper torso being chased by a dog. The resident quickly started recording what they saw on their mobile phone. As the entity moved behind a trash can, it suddenly vanished. What in the world could this be? Was it an alien creature, a supernatural entity, or something else altogether? While some speculated that it could be the result of good CGI, the residents insist that what they had filmed was real. What do you think? During his cave exploration, the man spotted a peculiar fossil that caught his attention. As he moved closer, he realized that it was a saucer-shaped object stuck in a massive rock. After conducting a thorough examination, the experts confirmed that the fossil was, in fact, a UFO that had been buried for over 5 million years. The discovery of this ancient UFO has sparked a lot of interest and curiosity amongst scientists and the public alike. At least, that's what the individual who sent this clip in said. I've combed online resources and I can't seem to find any credible information. Also, this UFO is rather too small, unless the aliens are tiny little buggers. But what do you guys think? Oh, how cute. Now, if you're gonna pet a porcupine, make sure you only stroke it one way. You understand? Ouch. That's real cute. Rico, is that the name of the porcupine? Oh, what a cutie. With that, we end today's episode. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Now, do me a favor. If you got any clips, you got any pictures, you got anything you want to share, classifiedcaptures@gmail.com is the email to send us stuff. we will post it on one of our episodes. And by the way, here's another thing I gotta tell you. You guys are all now asking me for shout-outs, and I got no problem doing that, but it's impossible for me to look through every single comment, shout-out, 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 etc., etc., etc. So if you want a shout-out on this channel, then put your proper name in capitals so that I can see it, because otherwise I'm kind of short-sighted. I'm trying to stare at the little usernames and stuff, and that doesn't really help me. So if you want a shout out, capital letters, Steve, give me a shout out, and then put your name in capital letters or something like that, and then I'll be happy enough to do that. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor and share this with as many people as you can. Love them, hate them, complete strangers, I don't care. Just share this video, share the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.